Hi, Sagafi, Liberty Home Mortgage. And today's topic is how to qualify for an FHA loan. But if you're looking to buy a home, this is the video you want to pay attention to. Whip out your pen, paper, your stencil, sticker, whatever you write on a digital notepad with or whatever it is, okay? Qualifying for an FHA mortgage loan. Step one, credit score. What credit score do you need to get an FHA mortgage loan? Technically speaking, you need a 500. Minimum credit score to go FHA is 500. And you're watching this video saying, oh my God, everybody's been telling me 580 and 620 and 640. You've been lied to your whole life, okay? The minimum credit score for FHA is 500. Write this one down. From 500 to 579, the minimum down payment is 10% of the purchase price. From 580 up, the minimum down payment is 3.5% of the purchase price. Here's the curveball, everybody. Write this down. I'm gonna say this a lot today. I'm gonna say write this down, okay? There's something called an AUS, an automated underwriting system. There's a fancy schmancy computer program that was invented somewhere around 1994 by this really nice lady called Fannie Mae. And I'm joking, she's not a lady, it's a company. But anyways, we take your information and run you through the program. When we run you through the program, if you have the minimum amounts of money to work with, and your scores are generally on the lower end of the spectrum, you're gonna have a real hard time getting approved. So before you start jumping for joy and saying, oh my God, I've got a 501 score, I'm calling this guy here because he's gonna give me a loan. Not so fast, slow it down, okay? Slow it down a little bit, okay? As your credit score goes down, the amount of money you need goes up. Generally speaking, now write this one down. The black and white guideline is 500 credit score, 500. That's the minimum. 5 to 579, 10% down, 580 up, 3.5% down. Let's talk about reality. There's the guideline book, which is mostly fantasy world, and then there's reality. Let me give you reality, okay? Reality is, as your score goes down, the amount of money you need goes up dramatically, okay? And when I say dramatically, I mean dramatically. Generally speaking, you probably want a credit score in the mid 600s. 640 is a general decent number to be around in order to get by the credit score aspect of qualifying for an FHA loan, okay? Generally, you'd like to be around 640. Can we go all the way down to 500? Yes, I got news for you. You better have a lot more down than just 10% the minimum, okay? So that's the credit score. Credit history, let's talk about credit history. Collections do not have to be paid off. Now, sometimes in certain cases they do. Very, very rarely, because I try to keep these videos a little bit short, I'm not gonna go as in depth necessarily over the specifics of what collection. I'll tell you this one, work with a loan officer who knows what they're doing. They'll tell you what has to get paid and what doesn't have to get paid, okay? But 99% of the collections out there do not have to get paid off. Bankruptcy, you have to be 2 years from the discharge of a bankruptcy in order to qualify for FHA. Foreclosures, you have to be 3 years from the satisfaction of a foreclosure. Pay attention to this one. If you owned a home and went bankrupt, the mortgage was in the bankruptcy. Your bankruptcy attorney said, don't worry about the mortgage, so you stopped paying on it. You're not obligated to pay it anymore. After it's put into the bankruptcy is discharged and you do not reaffirm it. So you start seeing that there's all these strings attached to this stuff, okay? But if you had a mortgage in a bankruptcy and stopped paying on it, that house still has to have gotten sold more than 3 years ago to go FHA. Judgments, if you have a judgment against you, you have to show that you're on a payment plan and you've made 3 payments. And let's talk about income, okay? We would like to see you on your job for 2 years, full-time, 40 hours a week, in order to use the income. However, if you're less than 2 years on the job, that's fine, especially with COVID. A lot of people had a lot of job changes. That's all fine. We would then like to see you in the same line of work for 2 years consecutively with no major gaps or breaks. FHA has a specific guideline on gaps of employment. If you're off for 6 months, not only do you have to be back on for 6 months, preferably, but you have to have a skill or a trade, some sort of training. All of it has to line up and make sense. If you've been off of work for more than 6 months, I'm telling you right now, look out. You got to pay real close attention to your work history and to your employment history. Exceptions can always be made, but you have to do it correctly up front at the time of application. This is what you have to do. So on the income side of it, if you're self-employed, cough up your last 2 years of filed tax returns. If you do have back income taxes, You have to be on an income tax repayment plan for that. That gets factored into the debt to income ratio. We use your net income. That is after all write-offs, deductions, and everything else under the sun. That's the income side of it. If you collect Social Security or a pension, or you draw off of a 401k or an annuity or a trust or something like that, or you collect child support, all of that is usable income. There are qualifiers to using it, so that all has to be looked at. Now, keep in mind, if you're working with the right loan officer and the right lender, you get quick answers on that stuff, okay? As an example, I tell people all the time, they'll say, Hesh, I'm collecting child support. My child is 22 years old. Okay, I'm collecting disability for my child. My child's 25 years old. It's not cut and dry that we can use it. It's not cut and dry that we cannot use it. You have to provide me with paperwork on it, which is the disability awards letter, certain things like that. And quite honestly, within about 2 hours, I'll get you a definitive answer. That's because I've done this for 24 years. We're the lender. I get immediate answers. I'm not just trying to sell my company or myself. These are just simple facts. Go and work with a bank and let me know how long it takes to get an answer to one simple question. That's not necessarily a simple question, but you want to get answers quickly. Let's go over to money, okay? When it comes to money, FHA allows the seller to pay up to 6% of the sales price towards the closing costs, prepaid items, things like that. Also, all of the down payment money, all of the closing costs, that could all be gifted from family members. You could have non-family members gift money, but look out, the down payment goes up dramatically from a minimum of 3.5% to as much as 25% down. So that's the money side of it. I know I'm talking a little bit quick, but guess what's great about this video? You can watch it again, take notes, write it down. I have a lot of other videos out there over credit scoring, websites to go to monitor your credit. As I always say in those videos I do, I'm not worried about the score that you get on Credit Karma. I'm worried about what's on your credit. Do you have collections? Do you have late payments? I have courses or topics and videos I've done on financial literacy, making sure your bills are getting paid on time, set everything up on auto pay. You might not trust the banks, but set it up on auto pay and keep your eye on them. So you got to pay attention to all my other videos. This was a brief shot on qualifying for an FHA loan. Work with the right loan officers when you're doing this stuff out there, and they'll walk you through everything correctly. But first of all, I have to give some thanks out there to my very good friend, real estate agent who I work with, Michelle Caston. Thank you for the incredible shirt. You know, she got the Black Sabbath go. Now, I'm an 80s child. I love 80s music, okay? 80s pop, yes. I love Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, Warrant, whatever, Metallica. I mean, old Metallica. I like new Metallica too, I guess, but really the old Metallica. Ozzy Osbourne, love Ozzy. Of course, I like Black Sabbath. Michelle, of course, loves Black Sabbath, but she got me the shirt. Thank you, Michelle, for the shirt. If you guys got shirts you want to send them, let's go. Because by the way, someday when I'm world famous, you'll be like, man, he used to wear my shirt. But anyways, keep following my videos. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and do 5,000 other things. Write it on the side of a wall to visit my YouTube page, and we'll catch you on the next one.